All right, everybody, what is going on? Good late afternoon spilling into the evening here. Hope you guys are doing well as we cruise into the weekend. And today was a pretty big day for the Seahawks. This weekend is a pretty big weekend for the Seahawks. It is training camp time. Today was the final day that players had to report to the VMAC. And tomorrow is the start of camp. So we got some stuff to talk about here, although mostly this is kind of a no news is good news situation where you don't necessarily want to hear a bunch of stuff because the things that you hear are mostly going to be not good. So things have been chill, things have been quiet for the most part, and that is a good thing. This video is sponsored by Prize Picks, so let's talk about what can be talked about. First of all, according to everything that we have heard so far, there's been no drama with somebody not showing up. There's been no unexcused absence, been no concerns as it pertains to this roster. Doesn't seem like there are any issues. And that includes Devin Witherspoon, who has been a very hot topic lately for Seahawks fans and the media in general. So this picture is from earlier today of him showing up to the VMAX. So he is he's present and he seems happy. I mean, he looks happy to me, so I imagine that the contract gets done very soon here. There's a lot of reason to believe it happens this weekend. And even if it doesn't seem like it's something that he's going to allow to bring him down. And you can see several other players also showing up for training camp. We got JSN here. We got Derek Hall. I believe this is DeMarcus Lawrence, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. But I believe that's D-Law. So looks like everybody is present. We've got no holdouts. We've got no surprise. I don't feel like playing football anymore type situations. And as we are near the end of the day, I think we would have heard about something if there was something to hear about. So on this front, we are good. The one thing that did happen today that was kind of notable, the one thing that was actually like an active occurrence was reuniting with our old friend Nick Vannett. Nick Vannett, not a name that we as Seahawks fans have thought about for quite some time, has signed with the Seattle Seahawks. You may remember Nick Vannett started his career in Seattle 10 years ago. He's back for the time being. He's a tight end. He has been around the league like you would not believe. There are very few players in the NFL who have traveled around from team to team the way Vannett has. It's quite a career. You go to his Pro Football Reference page, it looks like he's trying to at least play a snap with every team in football. Started with the Seahawks for 3 years plus, Pittsburgh 1 year, Denver 1 year, New Orleans a year and a half, Giants half a year, Chargers for a year, Titans for a year, and then last year he half a year with Minnesota, half a year with the Rams, and he was actually with the Rams last year when we played them in the playoffs. I don't think he was active in that game or anything, but um or at least I don't think he got on the field. Maybe he was active, but either way, he has been as much of a journeyman as you are going to find in the NFL. And the thing that's interesting is a lot of players that travel like this, they don't ever really get to play, but Vannett consistently has at least gotten playing time throughout his career, so done pretty well for himself, all things considered. All right, guys, let's take a quick break here to talk a little bit about Prize Picks, currently the #1 sports pick app in America. The app is very easy to use. Check it out to my left here. You can do player picks, where you just pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. Or you can pick teams, where you pick winners, spread, or total on any game or fight. The app is available in most states, including California, Texas, and Florida. Right now, they have a great offer. You can play your first $5 lineup and get $150 in lineups if you win. All you have to do is use code HMA when you sign up. It's a brand new offer, best time possible to get on the app. So get on over there and get to winning that first lineup. So remember, Prize Picks, code HMA. Download the app today and remember to always gamble responsibly. Now, obviously, at this point, he's what, 33 years old, about to, yeah, he's 33 years old. And it's not like he really did anything last year. Last year, he actually had 0 targets and started a game. But as you can see, he's a pretty fringe NFL player at this point. So bringing him back now, the day before training camp, is of note. Now, the player that we let go to make room for Vannett was Tyrone Broden, cornerback, originally a wide receiver, converted to corner this last offseason. Broden was on the PUP list. So what might happen here is that he's going to go through waivers, and then we're going to throw him on the injured reserve. So that way he gets to stick around, and we don't have to use a 90-man roster spot on him. But it does seem like there's probably something like that going on here. That's the primary reason why an injured player would get waived like that, especially when there's some gas behind the player like there is with Broden. And I don't want to go too far with it because Broden is a long shot to be anything in the NFL, but he is a physical specimen. There's some very unique athleticism and talent with him. Again, not overly likely that he ends up realizing that potential, but I think that's a guy you want to have around if at all possible. So I am expecting Broden to get on injured reserve in some time in the next couple of days here, but we will see. So Nick Vannett, clearly this team wanted Vannett. Clearly this team actually looks at him and goes, that is somebody that we need right now. This isn't just some random throwaway signing, because you did have to put a guy like Broden, who I think this team appreciates having around, at risk to do so. So that makes me wonder if maybe there's a little bit of a concern with one or maybe even more than one of the tight ends ahead of him on the depth chart, and they want to make sure they have enough bodies for camp. I mean, obviously, you're not bringing in Vannett because you think he's going to actually make the team, right? Because you've got Barner, you've got Arroyo, and Saubert. Those guys are not going anywhere. And I mean, in a vacuum, maybe Saubert would, but you extended him last season. I don't think you would do that, give him that contract, and then release him before the season starts. You clearly covet him on some level. And then you've got Brady Russell, by the way, who does fullback and special team stuff as well as tight end stuff. And even then, you've got guys like Nick Collerup and what's his name, Logan Taylor. We've got another tight end on the it's like Lance Taylor, Lance Mason, something like that. Now Vannett's better than those two guys, but there's no room on this roster for a fifth tight end. Nobody carries 5 tight ends. And even if you consider Brady Russell to be more of a fullback at this point, you still wouldn't carry another tight end when he's still on the team. So I'm guessing that there's a minor injury, like something pretty insignificant with Barner or Arroyo or Saubert, or maybe even multiple of those guys. And they just want to make sure they have enough tight ends around because this is a tight end heavy team. Although it is worth noting that none of those players have gone on the PUP yet. I'm recording this video here near the end of the day. Doesn't seem like there's anything going on there serious, so maybe it's mild enough to not go on the PUP, but notable enough to where they want to bring in another tight end just in case they want to just so they can deploy their whole playbook in camp without putting those guys at risk. So we'll see. Vannett could make the practice squad. He probably brings more to the table than Collerup or Taylor, but time will tell. All right, so that was the main news we got today. The best stuff from today, though, was the stuff that we didn't see. And Sleeper Seahawks here actually does a pretty good job kind of encapsulating the best stuff from today, the stuff that didn't happen. Torrey Horton, who we were told would be ready to practice by the time training camp came around, is not on the PUP list, so it looks like that is the case. And that was something that definitely could have gone the other way. It would not have been a shock if Torrey Horton went on the PUP to start camp and came off a little bit later. But as of right now, and I guess the day is not over, Torrey Horton's not on the PUP. So that's a very good sign for him. That says that he is almost beyond, or maybe even completely beyond, the injury that he was dealing with last season. Also, like I said, nothing about AJ Barner, nothing on Arroyo, nothing on Saubert. So if those guys are dinged up, it's very, very minor. So doesn't seem like there's a lot of injury stuff between this team and where they want to be this season as of right now. If a player gets added to the PUP over the next few weeks, it'll be because something happened in camp, and that may very well happen. Can never be ruled out. But the important thing that I'm trying to get at here is we have gotten through this offseason without a lot of significant concerns. Like, we got 5 players on the PUP. One of them is Broden, who is currently not even on the team. Charbonnet, which we knew about. Devin Eastern, who was probably not going to make the team anyway. And Eamon Warry's the one that's kind of a little bit of a smack in the face, but everything we've heard now pretty clearly indicates he will be good to go when the need is for him to get on the field. So that's about as good as you can hope for, guys. A lot of guys that we weren't sure about, they are good to go. We don't have even a like a Jonathan Hankins situation where the guy's here, but he just can't get right. Like, we don't even have something like that going on this year. Okay, so good news. More stuff coming later. But training camp is just about here, and no news is good news. Very little actual news today, and that's great. So welcome back, all Seattle Seahawks players. Let's defend this title, and let's go ahead and get this season started off right. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Go Hawks.